Hello. So thanks, Laura. There are millions of small businesses out there across the country, all trying to go after the same customers. And we've got some panelists here who are going to talk about how they connect them. But it's not always easy, and we're going to hear some of the pitfalls and some of the strategies and tactics that they use to help these customers connect. So we've got Faith Murphy from Yahoo, got Jonathan Cherins from Yext, Michelle Green from Weather Channel. One of you guys go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah. Faith Murphy, Senior Director of SMB Partnerships, Sales and Support at Yahoo. So I run two parts of Yahoo's small businesses. I run first the relationships and reseller relationships for the do-it-yourselves, for the do-it-for-me's. And then, do-it-for-me's. And then I also run our sales and support teams for those that are going to do it-myselfers for our Yahoo Gemini platform for search and native.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I run for Yext both our small business sales team as well as our partner and middle market teams. So we have a little bit of the self-serve, do-it-for-me, do-it-thing, so we'll get into that a lot. But I cover both how we go to SMBs and also alternative ways we get to it, which will be probably a big part of what we talk about.
Michelle Green with Weather Company. We've had a self-service model tool for 3 years now, working on building partnerships and using technology to create an automated guaranteed platform. So moving into agencies and mid-market, but currently working exclusively with partners, reaching those SMBs.
Great. So how do each of your companies work with SMBs, and how do you manage those relationships? Why don't you go ahead and start?
Sure. So we have created partnerships with companies like Hearst, Tribune, Meredith Grey, et cetera, that already have a fully staffed sales team across the country that has had relationships with these SMBs for over 30 years. They know the local market, they know the zip code, they can say, oh, don't waste your money advertising and try back up. That's not where your customer is. It's down to that hyper-local level. And with Weather, we have the lat-longs of everyone that's using the platform, which makes it very easy. So as opposed to having to hire a sales force across the country, these people actually don't work for Weather Channel, and yet they're selling the Weather Channel properties, weather.com, and the mobile apps day in and day out as part of a package with their local solutions. How do you expand your reach in the local market beyond the television station, beyond the paper and the radio? You need a digital presence with scale at a local level.
Right. Jonathan?
So Yext history actually started with SMBs. I've been with the company about a year now, but when it was first launched and getting into the hyper-local listings business, the business started out with us just cold calling SMBs. And I think we got to the conclusion very quickly that we started to move up market. We started selling our products and solutions to enterprises, and we chose to go after the SMB ecosystem through the partner community. We have 45 sellers right here in New York City who reach out to SMBs, and we spend a lot of money on marketing, but we don't do any outbound phone calls. So either SMBs reach out to us directly, and a self-serve model, we'll sell to them and we'll engage with them. But to really get to the entire SMB system, it's just not scalable. So for us, we'd much rather go out and arm a partner community, and we work with partners, across the gamut. Some have tens of thousands of sellers, some have one or two, some are local, some are national. But through the partner system, we now have 30,000 people out there in the community who are reaching SMBs in their environment, in their specialty, and also connecting with the SMBs, not just with Yext, but with other solutions that are appropriate, whether it be websites, SEO, SEM, what have you. So we keep the SMB sales and service model active, and it's a big learning place for us. We can test offers, we can test engagement models, new products, and then we can roll that out to partners and roll it out to our other direct channels, enterprise or mid-market. But we are really not going to invest more in trying to reach them directly. We'd much rather do it through our partner ecosystem.
Gotcha. What do you think?
So very similar to both these two. We actually look at our partners as an extension of the Yahoo sales team. They're able to go out, they're able to do the mass reach, they're able to work on a platform, go and shift budget, go and offer the best practices. So the way that we really interact with our partners in that respect is we go out, we provide them, here's the API, here's our technology, here's our best practices, here's some co-marketing, here's some co-marketing dollars. And then from there, kind of every partnership looks a little bit different because everyone has a slightly different model. But we really want to piggyback on that opportunity that at the end of the day that we know that SMBs, there's a lot of options. They have to do lots of different parts of their business management from listings and websites. And it makes most sense for them to work with one partner that can offer them all those solutions plus their advertising, so search and native. So that's kind of that world. And then kind of on the flip side, with the self-serve piece and working with the direct clients, we offer more of a sales support model where we're just kind of following up on those thousands of leads that are coming into our platform to go and do the advertising on a daily basis. And then much of that, it's the ecosystem that helps us push from a Yahoo Gemini standpoint, like how do we continue to build scale and how do we continue to change algorithms and how can we continue to build a platform that's notable for SMBs. I think our partners actually give us a lot of direction. They're able to give us the highlights and the lowlights of what's going on when then we're able to kind of make those massive changes all at the same time because of that.
So what kind of pain points have you come across?
Pain points. I think one of the biggest challenges that always comes up is just roadmaps and product and technology. I mean, I think this is working in this space, it's all technology. We start with, here's my roadmap, this is what we're working on, and I just hope that my roadmap syncs to your roadmap, especially when I say, hey, I'm bringing this opportunity up to you, this is a missed opportunity, this is how you can go and make more revenue, this is how you can have better ROI for your clients, and then you're pushed with, oh, it's a great idea, but I've got 6 months, maybe a year, because our roadmap's already packed. So I think that's a challenge, but it's part of the business. And then with that, it just kind of leads to the scalability, so you kind of build that into the relationship management part.
You mentioned which products to give to the sales force and to roll out to the SMBs. I think what we've found is the biggest challenge is we have a huge kit and caboodle of all these different products and layers of targeting and the amount of data that we can provide even more now that we're with IBM. And so how do you make that easy for the reseller? How do you make that digestible for the SMB? You have to cherry pick. We know these are going to perform, because if it doesn't perform well, they're not going to come back.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's the case if you kind of choose, all right, this quarter we're going to harp on this issue. here's our biggest opportunity we see, and then 6 months down the line, all right, here's the next biggest opportunity. It's just a kind of a constant rolling of moving forward with those.
Yeah, I think for us it's simplicity. So when we want to push something out into the SMB ecosystem, obviously we're going through the partner community, and we try to do one thing at a time. And we try to always put it in the language of the partner, right? What is the partner trying to grow their retention, trying to grow their sales? How can they use this to further engage with the SMBs on the levels that they are doing it? And so, we found one of the best ways to do that is to actively, and this was a learning we got from the SMB platform, is to actually train the partners on how to take our roadmaps, how to translate that into what it means to the SMB. An SMB doesn't want to talk about a roadmap. If they're an architect, they want to draw a building, they want to go be a lawyer or a doctor, what have you. They don't think about the technology. Does it work? Does this help me do my business? Does it empower me to go do what I started an SMB to do in the first place? So we try to get in front of it with our partners, train them, and really focus on their economics, because if you focus on the partner economics, everything usually takes care of itself.
I think the biggest mistake we made at first was all of our marketing material, all of our webinars were focused on what do you say to the end client? So all B2C. But then we forgot about, you might need scripts, you might need your own training material for the B2B side. So it's coming up with 2 different sets of resources. And all of the resources that our national team creates and the research team and sales strategy, we have to change that. We can't just use the same documents. We have to repurpose it to kind of make it as easy and understandable as possible.
Yeah, we have the same challenges, opportunities. One of the things that really works well is the language, the sales scripts, PowerPoint, whatever it is that is B2C, or really a high-end B2B. In our example, really works well in training the partner on how to sell. So you end up having to develop your own materials and how to acquire a partner, how to do it, but everything that is going directly to the business ends up being used by the partners on how they're selling and how they're growing their business. So we try to repurpose everything, but everything does have to get translated into, well, there's a layer in between, whether reseller, partner, what have you.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of comes back to this little bit of a customization standpoint. How do they sell? How do they go with it? We do a lot more of empowering train the trainers type of situation. Hey, here's the platform, here's the best practices. We work a lot with kind of with the fulfillment side of the teams to go and make sure that they're understanding how to use the platform. Here's what we're seeing. But it's a lot of customization in regards to what are you looking for and how can we help make that happen.
Thanks. So Michelle, specifically, do SMBs have access to the same products, tools, and price points as those who buy directly through the national sales team when it comes to web channel?
Kind of. It really just depends. We try to make sure that the best of the best is available. But like I said, we don't want to give them a run of app that we know isn't going to perform as well. So we make sure that they only get the first placement with high viewability and where we see good click-throughs. There's some products that we offer with Creative Lab backing. So it's our adapter technology where it pulls in your location, it pulls in the weather forecast into your creative. Engaging so many teams is going to have a minimum cost. So there's not everything we can put on self-service because that's not self-serve. So I think it really just depends. Because of collusion, we can't say you're going to charge this price, but we try to make sure that everything's at price parity. So across our sales channels, there's minimal conflict, and you can't go to one channel and get something cheaper.
Does that apply to either of you?
Yeah, I mean, we try to keep in price parity. We try to give our partners a little bit of economic leeway because they tend to be creative in their economic models by bundling multiple products. But there is some product fences around what we go to the SMB directly with. You know, there's a feature called duplicate suppression that we really don't offer directly because we want a little bit more oomph in the partner community they can go. But for the most part, we try to stay in product parity and very nearly price parity, just with a modest break. Especially when you get into partners who are buying thousands upon, like Yahoo as an example. They're doing tens of thousands of locations. They're going to get a tremendous price advantage to take to the SMB just because they're buying in bulk. And so the economics take care of themselves that way.
Yeah, there's 100% parity between coming in through a partner and through direct. The difference, though, is that with our partners, we offer incentives. So there's, again, because we just looked at them as an extension of our sales team, so for that, there's a price break, but it's just an incentive based on the revenue that's spent with us.
Got it. So there's a couple of ways to go, a direct sales team or partnerships. Talk a little bit about how you decided one or the other or both and what are the benefits.
So when it comes to deciding between the two, I think the first piece we always think about is what are we trying to achieve? What's the primary goal? And then behind that is what's the technology needed to get there? Based on that technology, what's the time frame? Are we looking at, is it something that I need to push out immediately, or is it something that we can wait and we can build it in-house first? So I think that's kind of the defining factor there is just what are we trying to achieve and what's the timeline and how much money do we have to spend?
For us, we try to, as one company, push everything out to all channels at the same time. So if we're making something available in our enterprise business or our mid-market business, it's going to be available in the partner business, it's going to be available in the SMB business. And we try to leverage, the power of our marketing just unilaterally as opposed to picking, because we talk about complexity and cherry picking and how to translate materials. As soon as then you have multiple materials, you've got multiple launch dates. So for the most part, you'll see us come to market all at once. Now the partners make it their own. They may take a Yext launch and bundle it with something else. But for the most part, price, product, features, with some exceptions, are all getting pushed out to all channels all at once. That way we can benefit from, the marketing muscle that's out there, PR, events, things like that, and everyone benefits from it. Also, we have, the unique situation of also many of our partners brand our products as theirs. Many of them branded as Yext, but we also allow them to take the product and make it their own. So we benefit from their marketing benefit, their assets as well.
I would say for us, it is important that the self-service, the local partnerships, and mid-market are all very clearly defined because as you move across the sales channel, we need to make sure that the right advertiser is working with the right person. For mid-market, it's someone that has all the opportunities. It's the direct sale. They can scale this to a very large client. With the partners, it really depends on where the money lies. If the money lies across the country with every single Ford dealer, that's going to be something we need every single partner to engage with. If it's something like co-op dollars, where all the co-op dollars for every single dealer, every single agent is with an agency, then you want that mid-market seller to work with the agency, but then use the automated guarantee technology to be able to bulk upload all 1,000 of the orders that were going to come through.
So how do you make sure that your sellers are great representatives of the brand?
That's a hard one, for sure. They're not drinking the water cooler. They're not living and hearing the stories about what is going on at the weather company every single day. And it's been a pretty exciting year with IBM and Watson technology, and we now have ads powered by Watson. So they're reading the press, they're asking us questions, they have a dedicated partner manager for them to reach out to, but it's one of 1,000 things that they can sell, whether they're selling search, or they're selling their own TV channels, or they're selling YouTube video or Facebook. They're trying to get into everything. They want to make sure that they're a one-stop shop for their local clients. So to be the new shiny object every single day is a challenge, and I think that's where we know we need more marketing materials, we need more case studies, we need more webinars. We travel and make sure we visit every single partner once a year at least, because that face time is very valuable.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely trying to keep yourself top of mind, especially in this. Like I am one of 3 search engines. I'm one of probably a zillion display partners, and then one of a billion other type of partners that are out there. So it's really just making sure you're top of mind. I'll go with it's 100% relationship management. After you've kind of gone forward and you've signed the deal and everybody's rocking and rolling and everybody's on the platform, it is really understanding what the partner's goals are at the end of the day, what their ROI, what their metrics, what their margins, everything of that, and then making sure that my partner managers are kind of working with them in that space accordingly.
Yeah, it's similar. I think for us, obviously when we push a new product, a piece of technology out to direct sales teams, we'll certify them, we'll get them all excited, and that learning has translated to the partner community as well, where every partner has an account manager, every partner manager, everyone uses a different title, I guess, and we're actually out there training both the individuals at the partners on our platform, because our self-serve model allows them to do it for the SMBs, as well as making sure that the partner itself is certified. Not only the individuals there, but the company, how to use the product, what best practices are, and also we certify them on how to monetize it, on how to sell it, and how they go out to SMBs directly, because we've learned from watching partners what is best in class and exactly how to do it right, how to use our scan to not only sell Yext via listings, but also how to sell websites and how to sell some other products we're going to be launching. So we find the certification program for partners as well as the named account manager allows us to stay top of mind. But with 3,000 partners, we have a hard time getting to everyone every year, but on the larger scale we do that.
Yeah, the education is huge. I think we're now at the point of the suggestive sale. So I have a waterproofer, I have a roofer, I have a tree removal guy. What do I sell to him? Because again, they're wanting the Weather Channel expertise. So how do we push the suggestive sale into the technology so we're not having to customize a proposal for every single client?
So you obviously want to keep your partners happy. Can you talk a little bit about, additionally, how you do keep them happy and maybe some instances where things kind of went south and you lost a partner?
Oh, I get to
Looking
start.
at you, Faith.
I'll take this one. So I think, obviously, same with SMBs, and I think, at a different scale with partners, engagement's what keeps them happy. When they are getting advance word on something that can help their business, when they are getting content that they can use, the more that we are reaching out to them, engage with them, they're happy. As far as for partners who are leaving, I think all of us are at businesses of scale, and we're going to lose partners. partners do go out of business less often than SMBs, so I guess it's pick your poison. But a lot of it does come down, and you probably see this more than anybody, comes down to price and education of that partner on what they are paying for and how to monetize that effectively. But in reality, we don't lose a lot from a service perspective. It's always a little bit of education and the economics.
Yeah, I think when I've lost partners, one, it was because maybe the relationship wasn't set up with the clearest of communication to start with. And that's happened, that's something you learn probably early on when you first start doing this, and then you have less of that going forward. But I think that's been the biggest piece, is that this was what we could offer, this is what it looks like, we went down that path, they did the integration, and they turned around and they were like, this isn't really what we thought this was gonna be. And then that's where we've lost it.
I'm just gonna say the same thing. The first contact, I think the same reason that we all end up in a partner system versus SMBs is expectations. I think it's a higher level dialogue, they can reach more. But if we don't set up that relationship from day one with this is how it's going to work, these are the expectations, here's your account manager, it's destined for failure. So those first weeks from us sales to signing a contract, that first training, the onboarding is really when you win that partner for life. You really can't underinvest in those first couple weeks.
I totally agree. I think that it's so critical that once you've kind of moved forward from the, okay, yes, we're interested and we're going to move forward, it is making sure that it kind of comes back to that top of mind relationship management. Really, for that first 6 months, you treat that like it's your only client, but maybe you've got 50 of them going on. But like and then it becomes a time management, but that's the big piece.
Yeah. And one last thing, I think change management, we all have employees come and go. How a partner is notified of who is working with them, I think sometimes we don't spend enough time really messaging that communication is key. This is what's happening, this is who you work with, this is how you reach them. And if all of a sudden, Billy quit and he's not here and now it's being run by Jane, the partner can't find it about that in a haphazard way. It's going to get the relationship off to a bad place.
Our challenge has been on the other side. So if there's a TV station that we partner with exclusively, and they don't have a digital sales rep, that's where we don't do as well. And so then they're a market the size of Philadelphia, and it's not as strong as it could be, even though there's so many local dollars there, and there's obviously the scale with weather. If there's not someone driving the partnership day in and day for us to have a weekly check-in with and to ask how things are going and to push our training materials to the full staff, that's where we tend to suffer.
Yeah, I'll even add in, it's just when we are working with partners, because just like there's turnover with us, there's a ton of turnover on their side too, often. And then there is that challenge then of making sure that, are you talking to the right contact? Because it may have started with the right contact when you started the relationship, but as it started to grow, it's now this person kind of drops off. It's a new set of people that you should be working with. Flip side is, that's basically, I'm gonna stop there.
Also, I think, just to get to your question about successful partners, there's really partners, at least, above a certain size, there's the technology people you talk to, there's the people who sign the contract, and then there's really the go-to-market organization on how the people who are actually communicating value to the SMBs, having those relationships be not separate, but investing an equal amount of time, especially in the go-to-market organization, because just like with us, if you get the partner set up right in the beginning, they're going to be happy. The partner getting the SMB's expectations set right, them understanding what a solution can or cannot do, and doing the appropriate expectation setting will make them successful. So make sure those relationships, that if you're going to build one with a partner, you do both. It's not just sign the contract and walk away. You got to find out who's actually talking to the SMBs.
And the value is what matters most. Like, what are you bringing to the table? For us specifically, if you're number one in the market and you feel like you already reach 90 to 100% of daily viewers, then our audience might not add that many people. But if you're the second or third or fourth station in the market, all those relationships that we're already advertising with you, like, you can now reach 10 to 30 times the number of people than you were reaching with our number 4 station before. That's huge.
So we've seen that some of your partners might also be competitors. How do you deal with that?
Frenemies.
Frenemies.
Yes. What's the best way to delicately manage that relationship?
Well, I think there's a benefit there. So when you have like partners, it means you have like data. It means you can share case studies, you can share learnings, you can share best practices. So we do. in our quarterly business reviews, we go and basically show them, here's the marketplace, here's your top 3 or 5 competitors, and then here's what the overall channel has done as a whole. So you kind of give them a full ecosystem. I think all of our partners, they're pretty competitive with each other, and they sure as heck don't like to see that this guy has a lower CPC and they're getting more impressions and more clicks for it. So it's it's an education piece, but again, we get to use it as an opportunity to go and show them what else they can do.
Yeah, I think the word I would come to is transparency. I mean, everyone knows, they have to know that, they're not an exclusive partner. We don't do a lot of exclusives, at least here in North America at all. We want them to know that we're out there in the marketplace, and we want them to compete for the SMBs, on their merits, which is going to be their service, what else they're bringing to the table. And I think you have to classify partners in 2 ways. Some of them are purely reselling, right? They just take what we sell and they'll mark it up. And then there's the ones that are really integrating into a more bundled solution. And those are the partners that are more successful. And we try to take what is best in class, and we're very upfront with every partner, this is what's going to be best for your business based on our experience with thousands of partners. But try to be very upfront. You can't hide anything. Be completely transparent. And we want competition. We want our products and solutions to go to every SMB, and so we're arming every partner we possibly can. And we want them to compete, and we're happy to participate and happy to engage and help everybody.
We've actually found that exclusivity is extremely valuable and what's making our partnerships work. If every single station in the market could sell weather, it just wouldn't be the same. We want there to be one go-to source that understands the strategy and understands that the products are available. And it goes back to what I was saying before. If you understand the value and how much viewership we can add to the table, then you're not going to feel us as competitors. We're a national weather station. We have data and video and content from all across the country where they specialize in one individual market. If they are Hearst and they own, I think, 28 or 29 different markets, then sure, they can share video content throughout, but they might have not had the Cedar Rapids flooding from 2 weeks ago or whenever it was. And luckily, IBM bought us, and we don't have a TV channel anymore, if you didn't know that.
So one more quick one. 2017, technology or partnerships, what do you see one thing changing?
Repeat that?
Tell me what you think is going to change in 2017, whether it's technology or the way you manage partners.
Sure. I think programmatic has grown quite a lot, and you have bidding, and you have an aggregated online space where you might not know where your ads are going to run. I think for us, the biggest opportunity is automated guaranteed, where it's a win-win for the partner and the client, or us, to be able to put the ads in, to make all the changes, to pull reporting, to see what inventory is available, have one contract, no email back and forth. That is really our goal with what we're trying to do in this space, and have every single client buying across all channels. So yes, we want you to bid throughout the year, but when there is a huge event that you're trying to make sure you have coverage for and you have dollars allocated for, then that's when you're going to run them automated guaranteed. And then if you want to do a big splash, like a branded background or something with our creative lab, then you can do that through our direct sales channel. So we do want them working across all cohesively.
How about a Yext and Yahoo? Anything big new coming in 17?
I think you'll see a lot. I think next week we're having one of our first big user conference, Location World, and I think for us, it's going to be the transition from selling a product to really empowering everyone with a platform, with multiple products that hang off of location, opening up our platform for other people to develop on it. So we'll be making a lot of big announcements next week, but I think we're going to be moving away from moving just one product and pushing the platform out to all channels and then opening that up. And obviously lots to see next week at Location World for us.
As of right now, everything stays the same. We just continue to grow the partner side, obviously with the Verizon Yahoo acquisition, which is supposed to happen in Q1. We'll kind of, that's all TBD. We'll see how that pans out, but at the end of the day, that doesn't change. I mean, my focus.
Good luck with that.
What?
Good luck with that.
Can't wait. Acquisitions are so fun. So, I mean, but my focus continues to stay, though, on growing our partnerships, focusing a lot on native. Search is always still going to be an important piece for us, but the native opportunity for SMBs is still kind of an untapped marketplace. And I'd like to see where we can drive that this year.
Awesome. So I think we have a minute or so for questions from the audience. Does anybody have any questions? I see a hand. Somebody maybe had a question.
Bueller.
I thought I saw someone flinch. Maybe I'll just point at somebody and ask a question. Okay. If not, I think we're all set.
Great.
Thank you very much to the
Thank you.
panelists. I appreciate it.